You've heard people say to back up your data before. You might know that you need to back up your data, but you just don't know how. Well, today, I'm going to tell you how. Ask any of your nerdy friends, or maybe an IT person at work, and you'll usually get the same answer. One backup is a must-have, but two, that's the sweet spot. The best idea is to have 3 copies of your precious data. One which is your working copy, another on a physical drive in a secure off-site location, and the third usually hosted on the internet or the cloud. I'm going to take you through some of these methods, and I'm going to start with the simplest one, an external hard drive. If you don't already have one of these, they're pretty cheap. You can usually find them online for 50 or 60 bucks, and they usually fit your needs. All you have to do is plug one of these things into your computer and copy over your files, and there you have it. Now you just take that drive to work, maybe one of your friend's house or a family member, just anywhere you think it'll be safe, and make sure it's not going to get messed with. You should try to keep this updated as often as you can, or as often as you feel you need to. Next up, you have to figure out how much your data is irreplaceable, your precious data. You need to do this because most likely the bulk of your data could be things like music or movies. Well, I understand that most of this could be really valuable to you, but if you decide to back it all up in the next step, it could cost you some money to do so. So keep things like family pictures or videos. Purchase software licenses, resumes, or maybe even some creative project files that you want to hold on to. You'll still want to keep all your files together, however. Just make sure you put them in folders and broken down into things that are more important than others. That way you can select the ones that are more important and precious to you easier later on. Try to get everything down to about 50 gigabytes or less for the precious data for this next step. We're going to go ahead and back this up to the cloud. If you have more than 50 gigabytes worth of precious data, then you'll have to either find a different cloud provider that I provide, or you'll have to pay for a bigger package. But if you have less than 50 gigabytes, then my method should be free for you, or at least it was at the time of this video. So, an easy cloud backup solution that I found was Mega. I'm sure others have similar functionality like Mega, but with Mega you have a software that you can run in the background of your computer, and it uploads or syncs all of your files and folders to the server. This stays active and it keeps everything up to date for you. You don't have to do anything. So to get started with this, head on over to www.mega.co.nz and create an account. After you verify your email and get logged in, you'll have the option to download the sync client. Once downloaded and set up, you can select the folder with your data and create a cloud folder that it will sync to. These are going to mirror each other. Depending on how much data you have though, and how fast your internet is, your first sync could take a while. At this point, you've got a pretty decent plan started for you. Most cloud providers should be fairly reliable. Remember, you'll only need this in case of emergency. It's not like you'll be needing it all the time. You may want to pay attention to it every once in a while, however, and just make sure that everything looks good and synced up right, just to be safe. The next level of backup will be a little tougher, but it sounds worse than it is. I'm going to go ahead and walk you through how to set up a RAID on your own computer. Now, a RAID is going to mirror all your files all the time. This will actually let you back up more data than you originally did with the cloud. Well, unless you got a really big cloud. For this setup, you'll need 2 hard drives of the same capacity. If you already have one extra hard drive that you're using for storage, you're going to want to make sure that you move those files to another location like the external hard drive before you set up a RAID on the one you have now. Reason being is setting up the new RAID will actually erase all of the data on the first drive. So I'm going to assume at this point that you have 2 matching hard drives at the same capacity and you have them installed in your computer. If you need to learn how to install them, please click on this link or see the description. Please only follow the instructions to physically install the drive itself. Don't go any further in the video. Now I can show you how to actually set up and mirror or a RAID 1. Alright, assuming you have Windows, this should be pretty similar to what you need to do. I think Windows 7 and up should all be the same. So go ahead and right click on My Computer or My PC and click Manage. This next window pops up. We're just going to go ahead and go to the left hand pane under Disk Management. Left click it and maximize this. Immediately popping up, it'll show the 2 disks that you put into your system. We want to make sure it's selected on an MBR and both disks are check marked. Then we're going to go down here and click OK. We're going to initialize the disk. You have to do this. Once it's initialized, you'll see them both down here. For demonstration purposes, these are just 2 GB allocations. So we're going to go ahead and select one of them, and right-click and hit New Mirrored Volume. Go ahead and click Next on this. You should see the first disk that you selected already over there. Go ahead and go over to the second disk and click Add. You should see them both being the same size. We're going to go ahead and make sure that the bottom selected amount of space matches the disk up here, and then click Next. You can assign a following drive letter. I'm going to go ahead and click X. I want it to be called the X drive. And then you can name it. Change new volume to something like My New Mirror. Make sure it's selected on NTFS and Perform Quick Format. Save a little bit of time. Hit Next. And then one quick double check and finish. Click Yes on this, and you do want it as a dynamic disk. Alright, once this finishes up here at the top, see it pops up. You have a new mirror up here, My New Mirror. It's going to show that it's the mirror layout and the volume. You should see your drive letter here. For example, letter X, My New Mirror. So let's go ahead and close this out. Now you can go to My PC, My Computer. You can see My New Mirror, the X drive. You can right click on this and hit Properties. This is going to show you have 2 GB worth of usable space, and it's labeled My New Mirror, and it's only 1 hard drive. There you go. Now you can move all your files over to the new drive, and you'll actually have an active backup copy ready to go just in case of a hard drive failure. I know I explained the mirror last, but I feel like it should be your main focus. Hard drive failure is one of the most common reasons for data loss. Even though you could get caught in a fire or a flood or pick up a nasty virus, you have a much greater chance of a hard drive failing on you. This happens more often than you like to think. And with 2 drives working as one, duplicating all your stuff all the time, if one goes down, all you'll have to worry about is replacing the drive because your data is always there. If you found this video helpful, please click the like button and don't forget to subscribe. A lot of people will tell you that you need to back up your data, and they're not lying. They're not. Today, I'm going to help you on protecting that data. I'm going to protect. You can usually find one, 50, 60 bucks on the internet. They're usually pretty easy to. Now, I'm going to assume that if you find this video helpful, please click the like button below. The